Hi guys, this is Daniel from Bitchin' RC Builds. I want to do a video about cooling fans. I haven't seen any great videos done on cooling fans for RC cars on YouTube. There's a couple out there, but they're not as informative as I feel like they should be. So I have a small selection of cooling fans. These are different ones I've been running in my RC cars. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little test. The first one right here, this is the Integy cooling fan for a 540 or 550 can motor. I've modified it. It had the brackets that stick off the end right here, and that wasn't working too well, or it didn't fit in my car too well, so I cut it down and just put it on right here. I was going to take it off the heatsink for this video, but I couldn't because I ran this car at the beach, and if it will focus, you guys can see right there that it is all corroded on the inside where the screws go into the aluminum heatsink, and I cannot take those off. All it did was strip out these screws. So this one blows a little bit harder than it's going to show in the video, but it still doesn't, it's not too much less. So I guess I can just go ahead and do the test for you guys right now. So I'm going to be testing them on a little AA battery pack. This one right here, got a little on-off switch on it. So here's this one. This one's been on a lot of different cars. It has a lot of dirt in it. Doesn't sound the best, as you can probably hear, but it still runs just fine. It's slowed down a little bit. There we go. Now it's kicked on. Now you guys can probably hear it. So I have a little pile of dirt and stuff right here, so you guys can see how much they force air out. As you can see, this one is not the best. It's not too bad, but it's not the best. This one, I think these run around $15 or so retail. So for $15, it's not a bad fan. It works pretty good. It's kept my rigs pretty cool. For the most part, I run them on rock crawlers. I don't really need them anymore. Just moved up here to Oregon, so it's pretty cool. But I used to live in Southern California, and you really need to keep your rigs cool down there. You know what? For the second one, we're going to go ahead and do the Castle fan. I've modified the Castle fan just a little bit. Well, a lot of it. But it used to have clips on the side, so it was kind of like this one, where it would sit over the motor. And then this was focus. This was also on this side. I cut all those off, as you can see. This one, I have not had good luck with it. Because this one sits directly against the motor. If you run it on a brushed motor, the magnets will keep it from spinning the fan. So you have to put it in like the perfect spot on the motor to actually get it to go. I'll probably show you guys what I'm talking about, but so I'll just go ahead and plug this one in and show you guys how well it works, which is not the best. I like the Castle products. This one's not my favorite though. So there that is. That's on right now. This one doesn't blow out a whole lot of air. I do like how it looks. Looks pretty fancy. As you can see, it's barely moving the stuff down here. It's not even, it's barely pushing it. And here's just a trash motor. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about with this. So if you put it up against the motor, see how it stopped? Back on. There we go. right there it works, over a little bit, and it stops. The magnets in the motor are stopping the fan from spinning. So I don't think that was too good of a design. I even had problems with it a little bit on my brushless motors. But I don't know, I figured Castle products, I really like them. I'm running 2 of their different motors. I have a 3800 kV 4-pole non-censored in my Yeti Score, and I have one of the 4-pole slate motors, the censored motors, in my Bomber, and I had problems with that on both of them. So right now, for the Castle fan, if you can see right there in that back post where the zip tie is supposed to go to secure it to the motor, I have a hole drilled right there. This is the interior from my Bomber, and it sits right in there. The Bomber's pretty closed off on the inside, so that way it gets some airflow kicking through there. And it actually works pretty well. I've tested on how much the motor heats up with and without that fan, and it helps a little bit, not too much. If you guys are running the stock ESC on the Bomber, it's a good spot to put it right here. It'll open up a lot of airflow. Then you can put a fan in there like that, and it'll blow right onto the ESC. I'm running a completely different setup in my Bomber right now, so this is just blowing air into where the motor and transmission are, like right on the chassis. It's blowing air into that compartment anyways. Next fan I'll show you guys is this one. This is a Wild Turbo fan. I just got this to put in my Yeti. This thing, I've tried it out already. It's a pretty damn good fan. I haven't ever had a fan that has worked this well. One second, I'm gonna plug in the connector again. Alright, so here's this one. This one blows out a ridiculous amount of air. You guys can hear it already. The thing's just crazy. This is their 30mm fan. They also have a 40mm and I don't remember what they call it. Some other fan. It's like 42mm or something. But anyways, so here's the little dirt pile. Right? This thing just works crazy good. Blew all that dirt away. But yeah, I just got this for my Yeti to help keep the temps down while I'm racing. These do not come with mounts, so I went ahead and ordered this off of Amazon. It's just some aluminum heatsink. It comes with this piece attached right there, so it has a dual fan mount, and it came with both of these fans. These fans both go on here like this. That way you can have dual fans on a motor. I just bought this just so I could have this piece right here. This was all I needed. These fans, I'll go ahead and show you guys these now. These are both the same, and I've already tried these on like 2S lipos and stuff like that, like actually plugging them in. It's kind of comical how bad these fans are. They're just cheap little motors off, or fans off of eBay, or not eBay, Amazon. I think I paid $8.70 or something for both of them with the heatsink. This is all it does, right here. Can't even hear it. I can't even hear it on. It doesn't even sound like it's on. The only thing it's doing right now is spinning. That is not creating any wind. It does not spin fast enough. Just to show you guys, it's not moving any of that stuff. I can't even feel any air coming out of this. So, if you do buy that, plan on changing the fans, because these ones aren't going to do shit. I'm going to end up using both of these and making like a scale looking radiator or something for my Bomber. I'll show you guys the other one just so you guys know it's not like a problem with that fan. I figured maybe I just got some fluke fans or something, but they are really crappy fans. They don't have enough RPMs to make any wind at all. I don't even know what kind of fans these are. Look at that, it's a DC brushless fan. Like I said, I've already tried them on 2S. I've tried them on 2S and 3S LiPos. They do the same thing. There's like nothing out of these. This is all it does. This one does the same thing. Oh, it moved that a little bit. I don't know if you guys can see that on camera. But yeah, it's creating barely any wind at all. So this one's a bit better than the other one that came with it, but it's still crappy. I have one more fan to show you guys. If you guys are looking at cooling fans, it's probably because, or if you guys came across my video, it's probably because you're looking at cooling fans and you don't know which one you should buy for what price and whatnot. So here's these options. Out of all of them, it definitely gets better with price. These are the cheapest ones. They suck. This one is a little bit cheaper than the Integi or Integi or whatever, and it was okay. It blew out a little more air when I first got it, but not a whole lot. And then I showed you guys what happens with the motor, and that was just really disappointing considering most of the motors I was putting this on were brushed motors. But like I said, it even had issues with the brushless system. So that one, kind of disappointing, especially it's a product from Castle, which I really like. This one works great. I've had it for quite a while. I've had it for a long time now, and it works great. Like I said, I just can't take it off of here because the screws are all corroded into the aluminum heatsink, which is a bummer, but that's okay. It still works just fine. Takes it a few minutes to kick up, but this one, definitely worth the money. Highly recommend these. I think I got this at A-Main Hobbies or something like that. It was like 16 bucks. Again, this is the 30mm one, and I got the twin 30mm heatsink and fans off Amazon, and I figured I could just pop this on here and it'll work pretty dang good for my Yeti. Keep it nice and cool. I'm racing it at the track or something. One last thing. This is my Extreme Beater Wolf 2. Right here. This thing has seen a lot of crap, but I didn't want to buy. This is like a super budget vehicle. So what I did is went to the dollar store and bought one of those little personal hand fans or whatever, right? And then I took and put the battery tray or the battery hunk right there that I cut apart, and then I wired it up to a switch and put that on a piece of wood, blowing straight at the motor. It's noisy and it sounds like crap, and it's really big and inconvenient, but if you have enough room on your chassis and you want to keep your motor cool, this works pretty well. I had to cut the blade down a little bit because it was way too big, so there's that. That's how the blades look now. But like I said, if you're looking for a really cheap cooling fan, this is definitely the one I'd suggest. It does take up a lot of room, but it works really well, and it only costs $1. I'd rather put that on something than these ones that I got off of Amazon for $8. Yes, they're smaller, they're more convenient in a sense. They come with a heatsink. The heatsink was the only part I liked about it, but they're pointless. Like I said, I'm going to use them for a scale radiator. I'm going to put them on the back of my bomber or something, so it looks like it has a working radiator. I don't think I'm going to plug them in. It's kind of pointless to use extra power for something that's not doing anything at all. But anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you a little bit. If you guys would like to see something else, like a different video on whatever, go ahead and shoot me a DM on Instagram, I'll put a link to our Instagram in the video description. If you guys like my new channel, go ahead and subscribe and like and all that stuff. Yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.